And our last story today is about office work. And more than anyone, we think it will make the Americans quite happy. Because office work has done what they could not. It has killed the Taliban, not physically surely, but mentally. Taliban misses the jihad life. They're now mere bureaucratic cogs, tired of keeping up with office meeting logs. So they're quiet quitting. You know, where you do the bare minimum at work. If you're tired of office work, then you're in the company of some big guns, quite literally. Here's a report.
The lack of ruining innocent lives has hit the Taliban hard. Something is amiss in their lives. Taliban fighters swept back to power less than 2 years ago. They took over Afghanistan's capital, forced the US to withdraw their troops, and rattled the world with horror. But the bloodthirsty terrorists are now stuck behind desks, suffering the 9-to-5 grind, feeling drained at bureaucracy's hand. They're now battling the truly boring job of running an impoverished nation, missing the exhilaration that came with seizing control. This is one area where terrorists are slightly relatable. We all know the thrill of chasing a dream job, which is not as fulfilling in reality. The only difference is some lose the mountain life free of restrictions, and guns are replaced with pieces of junk like slow-working keyboards. And trust us, we're not making this up. A recent study shows that the Taliban is having difficulty adapting to typical civilian life. They're tired of daily things that haunt most mere mortals, like traffic, thieves, and office jobs. How times have changed. The Taliban is complaining about being robbed by common thieves. And they despise desk jobs. Most of them are now quiet quitting or doing the bare minimum at their jobs. Instead of being the harbingers of doom, they're stuck in Twitter's doom scroll. They complain about spending most of their time on Twitter. They've become addicted to the internet. They say they, quote-unquote, miss the jihad life. The Taliban clearly misses the good things, like causing bloodshed. After all, it's quite the shift from being sadistic, chaotic criminals. How is a desk job supposed to fill the void of imposing draconian rules? Forbidding women from receiving education, and stoning, flogging, and amputating the public routinely. The new life must be quite boring. They now have to work for a wage instead of embarking on victim-hunting journeys, and the problems keep mounting. Here are some anecdotes. They're miserable about not being able to miss work. Being absent leads to cut wages. Some can't bring their family to the city because of high property rates. And if this wasn't enough, they now have to sack relatives they hired in government positions. Along with their tumultuous personal lives, they also face a deepening economic crisis. Their government faces sanctions from countries across the world. Their overseas assets have been frozen, and most of their foreign funding has been suspended. Sure, they claim to be sitting on natural resources like copper and natural gas. It could be worth over $1 trillion, but they struggle with tapping it, especially after a war that killed hundreds of thousands and displaced millions. Afghanistan's economy is collapsing while it struggles with isolation from the global community and traffic, apparently. The killing machines are now stuck in the monotonous urban machinery. Their daily problems now include Twitter and traffic. The change is difficult. We hope they can keep up, because for most in Afghanistan, confronting traffic is 100 times better than confronting the Taliban on any given day.